Hey there, everyone. It's GG Sober Sun. Looking pretty tumultuous in Choctawhatchee Bay today. November 15th. I am less sensitive and my feelings are less easily hurt. I no longer take myself so seriously. It didn't used to take much to insult me, to feel that I had been slighted or left on the outside. That was a big thing. What happens to me now is not so important. One cause of our drinking was that we couldn't take it. So we escaped the unpleasant situation. We have learned to take it on the chin, if necessary, and smile. When I am all wrapped up in AA, I do not notice the personal slights so much. They do not seem to matter so much. I have learned to laugh at self-pity because it's so childish. Am I less sensitive? And it's good to be reminded, because there are days when whether I got a bad night's sleep or my sleep patterns get messed up, I can slip back into those old patterns of taking myself too seriously and getting, as the young kids say, butt hurt about something or another. This isn't a one and done thing and then you reach nirvana and everything's good from here on out. And I noticed that especially when a major tragedy happened. Heck, I hadn't been to a funeral my entire life until the year I turned 30. And then within 6 months, I'd been to 3. One was my maternal grandfather. Another was a guy who committed suicide in my unit that I worked alongside of part-time, off-duty. And the third was my dad. That rocked my world, man. And I was 6 years. Actually, the week my dad died, I hit a 7-year milestone. But I was so wrapped up in my own grief that I didn't even go and pick up a coin. Of course, I wasn't going to meetings regular then. I love how it says in this reading, when I'm wrapped up in AA, warm and secure. When I'm in the middle of the AA life raft, I don't experience all the pettiness. But even in AA, when I'm wrapped up in the AA fellowship, I can, personalities are personalities, and I can get sort of sensitive about some things that people say, but I know there's a step for that. When these crop up, in step 10, when these crop up, I don't have to keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. I have that checklist. When these crop up, selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, or fear. Back in the day, I had no problem saying, I resent that. I resent your remarks or whatever, and the funny crack was, when you knew somebody had your number and they called you out on something, I resemble that remark. That was a funny twist on that old saying. I resent that remark. But again, that's where the program comes in. In AA, there's the fellowship, and then there's the program. The program tells me to, whenever I'm disturbed, the 10th step spiritual axiom, whenever I am disturbed, I'm the one with the problem. And if I'm not the solution, I used to hear this all the time. If I'm not the problem, there is no solution. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. But in terms of, if I'm not the one with the problem, then there is no solution. Because I'm not always the cause of the problem. But I experience pain, emotional pain. I'm the one experiencing the emotional pain. So I can be the solution if I'm aiming up. If I'm aiming down, I'm looking for revenge or justification, rationalization, all these things. So it's good to reflect. And every time I feel these things, when these crop up, it's an opportunity to try something different than what I've done in the past. What I've done in the past was blot it out in one form or another. It used to be alcohol before I came to AA. And that tended to just add fuel to the fire more often than not, than help me to try to truly escape. Meditation for the day. God's miracle working power is as manifest today as it was in the past. It still works miracles of change in lives and miracles of healing in twisted minds. When a person trusts wholly in God and leaves to Him the choosing of the day and hour, there is God's miracle working power becoming manifest in that person's life. So we can trust in God and have boundless faith in His power to make us whole again whenever He chooses. And that's the tough part, right? The 6th and 7th step, 7th step, humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. And then, the 6th step prayer is, God, I'm now ready that you should have all of me, good and bad. Please remove from me every single defective character that stands in the way of my usefulness to you and my fellows. Bless me now as I go out from here to do your bidding. And then humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. I guess that would be the 6th and 7th step prayer. But to let Him have good and bad. And He can use the bad, frankly. I've seen it happen. Doesn't mean we embrace those character defects that He's used in the past and go, yeah, I'm supposed to do that. Yeah, I'm supposed to keep on smoking because I hang out with drunks on the back porch of the clubhouse, and that kind of thing. Anywho's, prayer for the day. I pray that I may feel sure that there is nothing that God cannot accomplish in changing my life. I pray that I may have faith in His miracle working power. Faith, the evidence of things not seen, but it's the object of our faith. That's the most important thing. Keep coming back, y'all. More will be revealed. Look up, chin up, aim up, Rise up.